This is not just politics. These people are sick, they are deranged, and they are treasonous. On Saturday, Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut tweeted, "Can we take the gloves off and tell the truth? Trump is deliberately killing people. He holds rallies where people get infected. On Thursday, no social distancing, no masks, sending a clear message that the CDC should be ignored. His plan is to kill people. Let's just say it." You know, it's not often that I'm at a loss for words, but this one has me. I can't believe that a sitting U.S. Senator would say such a thing about the President of the United States, outright accusing him of murder. We thought it was bad when they were accusing him of purposely colluding with Russia to steal an election, to overthrow the United States government and work in cahoots with the Kremlin. We thought that was awful. We thought that was the coup. But to have an actual senator, and I don't hear anyone on the Democrat side saying that he ought to be censured. You know, a Republican says something to Barack Obama when he was president, and the entire Republican Party jumps straight down his throat. You know, we constantly circle the wagons against our own and go after our own, and the Democrats never do that. I've been on the radio most of my life. I've had this channel now for 3 years, and I am at a total, complete loss for words. This is outrageous and over the top. And I knew the night that I watched the closing of the RNC and Donald Trump's spectacular, uplifting message, I knew that the Democrats were absolutely writhing over the fact that, number one, the Democrats blew them out of the water. The Republican convention was so much better, so much more professional, so much more enjoyable to watch that even Democrats were watching it and calling into C-SPAN saying, wow, the Democrats really should learn something from the Republicans how to do this. And you knew that the one and only thing they could jump on,
There's 2,000 people sitting there without masks. See, the president, he's encouraging people now to defy the mask order.
You know, what the media will not acknowledge, what the Democrats refuse to acknowledge, is that the rank and file average American, you, me, we get it. And I don't care whether you're Democrat or Republican, we get it. We have been lied to. This pandemic is so overblown and so exaggerated that even the New York Times over the weekend performed a random act of journalism. And when you take the 170 plus thousand COVID-related deaths that we constantly hear touted, was it 178,000? The New York Times actually did some investigation and found out that if you pull out just those who died from coronavirus alone, it wasn't coronavirus, but they also had extenuating health circumstances. You know, they already had serious illness. They had pneumonia, and then COVID complicated it and made it worse. When you pull out where it's COVID only, the death rate drops to 0.1%. Did you hear that? Did that sink in? 0.1%. Now, you math geniuses can tell us based on the way the New York Times framed that. So out of 178,000, is it 17,000? Is that what they're trying to say? Or is it 1,700? And we've shut down our country? We're shaming people for not wearing masks. We're sending law enforcement agencies to shut down church services, and we are fining churches in California $5,000 per Sunday for having services. And we have a senator accusing the president now of killing people. What they're really upset about is, after all of this, the president went out over the weekend and people came to hear him. And they don't care. They're coming to hear him. Ain't nobody lining up to hear Joe Biden, and they know it. Ain't nobody gonna line up to hear Joe Biden, and they know it. And what they cannot come to grips with, and this is what I said in a previous monologue regarding the mask issue and the president on Thursday night. People want normal. They want things to go back to normal. We don't want the new normal. That's abnormal. We don't want our rights infringed on any longer. We want to be normal. Case in point, the church I pastor. We don't do masks. We don't do social distancing. We run everything normal. From our adult services to our kids' services. Everything is normal. We had a young couple visit this past Sunday. Sharp young couple. I would say in their mid-20s. They've got a couple of young children. They're moving to our area, but they're also in a church about 30 minutes from us that can't make up its mind if they're going to be open or not open, and sometimes they're open and sometimes they're in the parking lot or having tailgate parties, and there's nothing going on for the kids and no nurseries, and they said they're just sick of it. They're just sick of it. They wanted to go to church where it was normal. You could come in, you could sing, you could sit with people, you could don't tell anyone, shake hands and enjoy the service. And your kids are cared for in a staffed nursery and in a staffed children's church. I said, how'd you hear about us? This is great. They said, well, he said, my mother, she's active in the Lucas County Republican Party, so she called someone from the Wood County, because that's where we're located, the Wood County Republican Party, and said, I got a strange question for you. Do you have any churches in your area that would be considered conservative in their politics with a conservative pastor that are open and doing things? Before she could even finish the question, the person from the Wood County Republican Party said, yeah, you got to check out Pastor Marty at Plain Church. Gave him the address, gave him our web address. I don't even know who the person was. I didn't even know that I was known within the Wood County Republican circles, but apparently I am. And I'm sorry, but that just absolutely made my day. And for this rat weasel, and I won't even mention his name anymore, it's not worthy to be mentioned. This rat weasel of a senator to accuse the president of murder? This is just beyond. And they accuse that it's Trump driving fear because it's the only way he can get elected. Wait a minute. No, nay. Who is it that's pushing fear? The Democrats. Wear a mask, you're going to die. They've made the mask the symbol of fear. They want you from now until Election Day that everywhere you go, you see masked people knowing that there's this pandemic and it's not going away, and somehow Trump didn't do enough, and they just want to keep reaffirming, reinstilling this lie that is bigger and worse than the Russian collusion hogwash. Unmask. They can't arrest all of us. They can't fine all of us. And if people would just en masse show up places without the mask, what are they going to do? Trust me, 300 people without masks show up at Walmart, they're not going to turn that dollar bill away. They're just not. Same with restaurants, same even with mom and pop stores. Just stop wearing it. Stop doing it. This is This is beyond ridiculous. And they're the ones pushing the fear of, we've got all these riots in the streets and we're being told it's because we've got a racist in the White House, and it's backfiring on them. And I've already done a lengthy video explaining that. You need to watch it if you haven't. The mayor of Kenosha is telling the president, don't come. Whoa, no, I'm sorry, the governor of Wisconsin, don't come. You people in Wisconsin, you better wake up and vote. And I don't mean just vote President Trump back in, but we need to start seriously across the country voting these governors and these mayors out. They gotta go. And I know I don't have to twist any arms in Michigan. You know that insane lunatic Whitman, that little Nazi who thinks of herself as a little empress now, these people have got to go. Murphy in New Jersey, got to go. Cuomo in New York, got to go. Newsom in California, the state is bankrupt. They can't even keep the lights on there, and they just voted to begin looking into seriously paying the black citizens of California reparations. Really? Really? You're bankrupt. You're taxing people into the ground out there. There aren't enough U-Hauls and Penske trucks to get people out of California fast enough, because right now they're all over on the East Coast getting people out of New York City. And a sitting senator says that the president is guilty of murder. Can you imagine if we had said that when Barack Obama was the alleged 44th president of the United States? Over 1,000 people died before he did anything with the swine flu. Or SARS, whatever new name we're giving it now. President Trump enacted a travel ban against China before we even had one case in this country. And yet, we're told he acted too slowly. Enough. And I want you to get mad and get motivated and vote. And get your friends and your family members to vote. Not just to vote Trump in, but vote these other people out. Hey, that's it for today's rant. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you share this video to your social media platforms. Give us a thumbs up and a great big like. And make sure you have smacked the bell and clicked the word all to get notifications of my next rant.